Mike here, glad you could join me. Welcome and thank you for watching this video with me. And no, I'm not running the spooky music through the whole video. And I'll probably get 5 or 6 comments saying, great music, man, with total disregards to the video content that I'm about to show, but that's fine. At least you got something out of it. I got this video from Miss Bling Bling BS ISS. And she was debunking Peggy with this blue jelly bean, actually candy-coated almond, but it's all virtual reality, so it really doesn't matter. Peggy here is actually in a virtual reality holographic environment, much like you saw the father and daughter in the beginning of this video. Peggy is able to grab real objects on the side of the wall here because she is actually with physical objects, but these objects can also be transformed instantly by a switch of a video channel into virtual reality objects or VR objects Peggy's able to manipulate in 3D space or weightlessness. Now, I've been debunking NASA for the last 2 years and nothing actually surprises me. You go from being mad and upset that the government is lying to us and stealing our money. Thousands and thousands of flat earthers are actually joining the scene. Flat earthers viral, even more popular now than Katy Perry clones. So that indicates we've come a long way. And all these new thousands and thousands of flat earthers are upset, just like I was at the very beginning 2 years ago. The more you research, our media, government, science is spoon-fed to the people in the form of propaganda and lies. The earth does not get to be any more of a globe, and the science does not seem any more real, neither does gravity seem to get any heavier. So let's get on with this, and I will show you what I found in this video. And you will see the transition effects as Peggy reaches over to the side wall with the deformation of her hand, which is common in many virtual reality systems. Since Peggy is grabbing real objects and interacting with virtual reality objects, as her hand reaches over there, being a hologram, we can see that her hand and wrist area have been deformed. Now, this is common in a lot of virtual reality systems with our current technology today, and this technology has been around for quite some time. The holographic image system is trying to interpolate exactly how her hand is supposed to be formed as Peggy reaches for a real-world object. Now, a lot of folks have been confused about how can they hold real objects and yet float them around, and I'm about to show you how they do it. You got to remember they're using hologram technology and they're just switching video channels. Now, Peggy is on her own layer. The ISS is not actually there behind her. And so when she grabs this bag, that is a real bag full of candy, and boom, right there you see the switch. Now they switch the video channel to where the bag of candy is actually virtual reality, where Peggy's able to manipulate in 3D space. The glitching of Peggy's hand you see is just simply the real bag of candy being switched on the same layer Peggy is on to a holographic image. This way Peggy's able to manipulate the candies in 3D space. They're able to switch back, and Peggy is still to appear to hold a solid object in her hand. Here she grabs this bottle water thing on the side, and we'll see the same glitch again as that object is transferred into a holographic video layer. Here you're about to see the glitch again, and you'll see that the number of candies in the bag has actually changed so Peggy can manipulate them in 3D space. And here is the shot of what happens when Peggy grabs a real object, but it's transformed into a holographic image on the same video layer that Peggy's on. Here we see as Peggy reaches over in that area again, the software is unable to interpret her hand properly and deforms her hand. And here we see Peggy's pinky finger get hacked off by the same holographic imagery that is making up her hand. Here Peggy is going to attempt a somersault. She's playing with the microphone as it's floating in the air. David Marsh sent this to me from Facebook. David Marsh does some amazing work on tracking the moon, folks, and him and I and many others are going to get this Earth map figured out. Here she goes. She's turning, and she starts to fall as she's hung by her waist on this wire, and that's immediately cuts the feed. Now, David Marsh posted this on Facebook, and somebody in the comments section says, well, what about the microphone? What about the microphone? Does that impress you? Is that amazing? Is it magic? You know, this is the same people that were just astonished when David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Do you know how he did it? He had him shut the lights off in the thing. That's how they did it. Bam, it's vanished. It's dark out. Go figure. And we get these same people, these same comments. You show them one thing, they question 5 others. If Peggy fell on the wire, folks, everything is fake. What do you mean? What about the microphone? My goodness, these physical, materialistic, heliocentric globeheads, they just make fun of us, and they're stuck in their own religious dogma called physicalism. And they only know how to shame, harass, bully, name call, personally attack those that say anything about there being a God or question their false pseudosciences. I mean, people think they're smart. They get on my channel calling me fat, saying I worship nothing but a false fairy monkey Jesus from outer space, when in reality, they're the ones that are lost, ignorant and blinded, not even realizing they are buried so deep in a satanic false religion, which is the irony of it all. It must be, it has to be, they say, physical science, because they are God-hating atheists. And instead of a creator, everything we see, I mean, everything around us was exploded. It just was made from nothing. That's what they believe, and it makes absolutely no sense at all. And I'm sad for them, because some of them, I know, I'll hear them scream out in hell, I didn't know. And yet 20 years ago, they posted on my video claiming they knew everything, and I was the stupid moron. Let's get these folks some help, people. Let's save who we can save, hating the sin-stained clothes they wear, and believe that some of them are going to make it. Let's keep pushing this thing. Well, what about the microphone? Well, why don't we look? Zoom in. Here Peggy buries her foot right into the cable on the side of the wall. Why? The cable's not actually there. It's just a virtual hologram, part of the green screen, the whole system right there. There you go. There's the foot. And the microphone, being a virtual object, ends up embedded in Peggy's hand. So Peggy needs hand surgery, and she needs foot surgery, and she probably bashed her head when she fell on the wire. Also, once you notice Peggy's eye, she is wearing virtual reality augmented contact lenses. Check those guys out. Ooh, scary. And here's what Peggy's eyes look like without the virtual reality augmented contact lenses in. Next up, I'm going to show you a video clip from Microsoft HoloLens, some amazing new things they are doing. And then I'm going to show you something disturbing from NASA.
For HoloLens in more geographies. And we are now in 9 countries. And by the end of the month, we will...
This guy here, keep this guy's face in your memory. I wasn't going to show him in this video. I'm going to show you another video of him. Keep him in mind.
Very elaborated 2-day illustration and animated 3D models. But now with the HoloLens, there is no more misunderstanding possible, because you are into the model.
Great. And one of the other amazing possibilities of the HoloLens is that we can work on designs we have from software that we already use. To show you an example of that, I will upload one of the stage props that we have from a previous show. So it's an acrobatic platform for a contortion number, and it's called the hand.
Oh, yes, all right.
Remember, I told you to think about this guy. We're about to see him in this next video. Now, the video is called Dawn of the Age of Holograms. And this is Alex Kipman. And I want you to listen to what is coming up, folks, and NASA's admittance to how they're going to do it.
Between me and my friend, Dr. Jeffrey Norris from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Fingers crossed. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Alex.
Whew, that worked. How are you doing today, Jeff?
Doing great. I've had an awesome week.
So, can you tell us a little bit, Jeff, about where you are?
Well, I'm actually in 3 places. I'm standing in a room across the street, while I'm standing on this stage with you, while I'm standing on Mars, 100 million miles away.
Wow, 100 million miles away. This is crazy. Can you tell us a little bit more about where all this data from Mars is coming from?
Absolutely. This is a precise holographic replica of Mars. built from data captured by the Curiosity Mars rover that I can explore as easily as a place on Earth. Humans are natural explorers. We can instantly understand an environment just by being present in it. We've built tools like our Mars rover to extend our vision and lengthen our reach, but for decades, we've explored from a seat behind screens and keyboards. Now, we're leaping over all of that, over the giant antennas and the relay satellites and the vastness between worlds, to take our first steps on this landscape as if we were truly there. Today, a group of scientists on our mission are seeing Mars as never before.
Did you catch how we're going to Mars? Yes, leaps and bounds over antennas and worlds and whatever, yada, 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 through virtual reality and holographic images. And folks, this technology is coming to brainwash the masses. I'm going to play you a little bit of what Alex Gitman said, but there's your Mars people. And NASA tells you how they do it, what they're planning. None of it's going to be real. The Curiosity never landed on Mars. They've never been to Mars. But according to this guy here from NASA, it being in a holographic image of Mars, like the holodeck on the Starship Enterprise, it's just as real and just as valid.
I dream about this future every single day. I take inspiration from our ancestors. We used to live in tribes where we interacted, communicated, and worked together. We are all beginning to build technology that will enable us to return to the humanity that brought us where we are today. Technology that will let us stop living inside this 2D world of monitors and pixels and let us start remembering what it feels like to live in our 3D world. It's a phenomenal time.
Yeah, it's going to be a phenomenally creepy world. That's what it's going to be. And I guess our flat monitors, our pixels, well, they're just not good enough. Folks, they want us to be addicted to this virtual reality. And it is addicted. I mean, it's very addicting. And, you know, wake up in the morning and see your pink butterflies fly around and go feed and pet your pet dragon. That's where this is going to. And we already have millions of people strung out on heroin, crack cocaine, and alcoholism. Why? They already can't cope with the stresses of life. And so here's their savior. It's just a device. It's for the end times, people. They want you to be hooked on this stuff, much like people have their cell phones glued to their hands. I mean, I can't even talk to some people without their stupid cell phone going off, and they go, "Can you hold them in? I got to." And they're looking at the thing, and you're just totally ignoring you and forgot you were in a conversation with them. Folks, I'm warning you that that's where this is going, and now we know how Mars is going to end up. Yeah, it's going to be a virtual reality Mars. Thank you, Microsoft HoloLens, for helping NASA Jet Propulsion Labs. Way to go. It's coming, folks. And you heard it here. It's coming. I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Jeffrey Norris. Now, Dr. Jeffrey Norris works at Jet Propulsion Laboratory, NASA, and he works on things like virtual reality for Mars. So you know what's coming up next, folks, right? Mixed reality on the space station. Jeffrey Norris, none of it's mixed. It's all virtual reality. And holograms on the Vomit Comet. Yeah, there's something you need, a hologram on the Vomit Comet. In-flight entertainment, I guess. Why not? There he is, Dr. Jeffrey Norris. Let's give him a round of applause. Way to go. Mixed reality on the space station. And so, folks, they're going to show you that they're using virtual reality on the ISS space station. This is nothing new with NASA. There's the HoloLens Microsoft technology. Yeah, I showed you a video about that. You know what that's about. This is nothing new with NASA. When they're doing something nefarious, like faking space, oh, there's Scott, hello Scott Kelly with his VR glasses on. When they're doing things like faking space, they tell us. They come clean. For instance, we catch them on Devon Island. Well, then they come up with the Huntington Mars Project and admit they're on Devon Island filming Arctic lemmings and shopping carts and cars driving by. If one of their astronauts drowned, well, then they tell us they have space snorkels. Folks, it's nothing new with these guys. Let's take a listen and just look through this video. It's amazing. Let's watch.